Alright, folks, it's time to do some inquiry on Power Rangers Dino Fury episode 11. So, this is actually kind of sad, but let's just talk about this first, and then I'll talk about the interesting topic, and then we'll talk about the episode as is. Actually, no, I think I need to do it reverse. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going to do it this way because I get to. First things first, it's the sad truth of this is now the lowest one that ever actually scored in the whole entire thing. Yeah, because apparently it says here that it got 0.17 viewership. This is the lowest one that they ever did. Holy crap. And it's like, yeah, and this one's the one that actually shows a brand new Zord, and this is the lowest scoring one. Not to mention, considering the one before that, it tied from last week's. And so I think last week's actually tied for the lowest of the low. And then it turns out like the Stegosaurus and the Green Ranger reveal, I suppose, that was the lowest one too. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what exactly happened. So apparently the Zord episodes are the lowest ones to score well besides the previous episode itself. So this one actually has now reached the whole time low of this. And I'm like, how did this happen exactly? This does not make sense. How exactly this happened? There was no delay. There was nothing that actually would cause this besides Netflix. That's the only thing that could really be caused here is Netflix. Because Netflix had this beforehand. I'm pretty sure many people don't really care about it. And it's just kind of weird that all of a sudden we bump to this where it's like, what just happened? So we'll have to see what happens next week. And it's like, I don't know, it might be, of course, third party means too. Illegal means could be happening as well. Considering you don't have a leash on international. It's like, hey, you really need to get a leash on international. Seriously, guys. You got to get a leash on that. It's like, oh man, it really is messed up. It's like, yeah, you got to get that leash on international. It's kind of funny how it went from, you look at Super Sentai and hey, that's what's gonna come next year, and it's like, oh, you get a gist of it. This one is like, it's even worse where it's like, okay, well, we don't really count on Super Sentai anymore, but as soon as we get like, you know, to a decent point, everything just leaks out about all of it being like, oh, well, we already have the first half of the season, all that was season already revealed. It's like, yeah, because everyone in freaking the other regions of the world are just gonna leak it out, and it's like, what the fuck, man? This is sad. It's like we should be the ones leaking it out. Well, technically it came from New Zealand, but technically it is from America. And it's like we're adapting this, and we're the last ones to even get this. Do you not see how stupid and pathetic this is? This is completely and utterly trash. And now it's like, yeah, now we have it 0.17. It's like, oh, in that standpoint, it's like no wonder, because chances are people are able to watch it anyways. It's like, yeah, this Power Ranger channel that you have no relation to, they're freaking putting up episodes, so it's to the point where it's like, yeah, you really need to get ahead of this, but you didn't. So man, my goodness. Now, debate. The interesting part about the sentience. It's like, yeah, I talked to someone about that, and he's like, I thought it was sentient. Well, there's two levels of sentience here. Level one is basically what we all kind of nod and say is sentience, where it's like the Zords do what they do. The Zords listen to what the Rangers say do, and they do it. And it's like, well, there you go. They're sentient because they're listening to what the Rangers want you to do. In Ryu Soldier, the original version, lo and behold, there's like at least how many? Let me try to remember. How many Zords were sentient? How many were there? There was the Red Ranger, yeah, the T-Rex champion Zord is supposed to be able to walk around all over the place because he's able to have a nice form, unlike previously where it's like, for Dino Charge, well, Gabu Terra or Tina Migo or whatever, it's like that one is able to just turn very small, and it's like, yeah, look at that, now he's able to maybe join somewhat, and it's like, yeah, whatever. It's like, I'm not gonna touch that one. But it's like, yeah, so She-X Champion Zord, Dimetro Blazing Zord was supposed to be sentient and talk about riddles. Yeah, it's kind of like weird. It's like, yeah, and the riddles are completely, utterly trash, believe it or not. And it's like, I thought you guys loved the funny ha ha. It's like, yeah, you would have made a good gag out of this, and y'all guys are like, no, 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 we're good with Jane and Jayborg. We're good with that. And it's like, when will they realize that they don't really need to have characters to do that? That they can actually do it with characters already? But whatever, man. The freaking other pterodactyl, whatever Zord that is gonna also be sentient too. Well, it's supposed to be sentient, but it's not sentient right now. Let's see. Is there any other ones that it's like basically sentience? What I'm talking about is the fact that they talk, that they actually talk, and they actually talk to the Rangers, and there's interaction, something like that. As for what's going on here is that it's not really sentience, unless you really call it that. And basically, I'm talking about if we're putting it in a category, we got level 1 sentience and level 2. I'm talking about level 2. Level 1 is kind of like given. It's a given that they'll listen, and it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, they'll listen. The Zords listen to what they say and attack and stuff like that. It's like, yeah. Ninja Steel, there was supposed to be some sentience in the Zords. At least 2 of them, where it's like, yeah, they never really even did anything on that. Wow. So here we go, and it's like, I can understand that the Blazing Zord deserves to not be talking, because it's like, it was stupid. And apparently, you guys understand what stupid means, but yet you don't understand how stupid Jane and Jayborg concept really is. Oh my gosh, can you leave me alone? It's like all of a sudden it's like, hey, I need to comment on, I need to talk to him. It's like, wow, really? Even early in the morning, you want to do that? Sorry for personalized. Let's just continue going. But that's what I mean by sentience. It's the fact that they're able to talk to the Rangers, there's interaction, there's some crazy kooky stuff, and then they're like, oh, they're like, yeah, we know it's stupid is, and that's stupid, but yet we don't see how stupid Jane and Jayborg really is in the concept of being like, yeah, Jane and Bjorg, which I'm pretty sure that just mutated into Jane and Jayborg that easily. And then Gene got a little name drop. It's like, yep, the one that you guys wanted to do something. And it's like, they were trying to do like some weird stuff, and then, well, they stopped doing it. And it's like, oh, well, that's good, but they replaced it. Now about the freaking episode at hand, shall we? Good concept. It's like there's some good concepts. I already talked about it beforehand, but there's some good concepts. Basically, the idea is that it's kind of sucky that Pop gets a little bit questioned on ethics, or basically how good he is. But at least he tried, and it's like, yeah, he was going to get the mansion, and most likely he's going to be done with the mansion. But as for the AC, oh, he's not the AC repairman, man. Not a great idea. Not a great idea to call him on that one. We get to have a little bit of idea of what happens with Amelia, which is Amelia's mom and dad are missing in action. Oh, frick. It's like, yeah, this is going to be an interesting idea, being like, huh, it'll be fun. Oh my gosh. It's like, I haven't seen anything, but it'll be funny as hell if it turns out that that freaking Void Knight and his wife is actually Amelia's parents. Oh, damn. It's like, if that's true, oh my gosh, damn. Yeah, but you will be like, there should have been like some interaction at the beginning, but considering they haven't seen their child since a baby, yeah, you can understand that that's what's going on here. Where it's like, of course he won't react and be like, my daughter, we should join forces. I am your father. That's not true. That's impossible. Oh man, they won't do that. Of course they won't. Of course they won't. I mean, it's a good twist. Awesome twist. Could be good, but I kind of don't think I wanted to go that way, even though it would be maybe good. It would bring some interest and intrigue, and it won't be the whole thing of the Red Ranger thing, where it's like, yeah, we don't want to have another freaking Mystic Force on our hands. It's okay, it's fine, but I personally would just prefer having something else than what I just said. The mood beam and the fact that they called it Doom Scaper or some kind of crap. It's like, I forgot what they called it, but I'm like, but it's a pyramid. Pyramids are fortresses. Oh yeah, Doom Fortress or Doomtress, and it's like, where did you come up with that idea? What the hell? I forgot to even mention the other stuff. Hold on, right quick. It's like I forgot to mention the other things that is part of this. Okay, so when it comes straight down to it, the story was created by Cat Lady and Algent, and Johnny Hartman did the teleplay. There you go. At least I was able to give that detail because that detail needed to be told. There we go. Anything else? It's like, I'm pretty sure that's about it besides showing the brand new Zord and then, oh, battle keys. It's like, battle keys. When did you guys get talking about battle keys? I would have to believe that it's more like, what key is this? This key's interesting. And then hopefully Zato's like, oh my gosh, that's a battle key. Those have been lost too. And it's like, oh, there we go. Instead of being like, okay, so Zato had to have talked about battle keys beforehand off screen. And it's like, well, that's kind of a issue being like, you have to jump to that conclusion besides being like, how in the world does he know anything about battle keys? What the frick? It's like, I would have preferred, like, even the first episode was like, yeah, we have booster keys and then we have battle keys, which we don't have any right now because those were lost as well. It's like, at least that will help set that up. This just came out of nowhere. And then the Zord came out of nowhere. It's like, yeah, the Zord came out of nowhere. And it's like, okay. And then it's like, okay, well, combine Zords. But at least, hey, first time ever we showed that Zato doesn't always have to pilot the Zords. And it's like, oh, well, it's about time we proved that actually is a thing because he was kind of like out of it. So it's like, thank goodness that that's not always has to be the thing. Thank goodness for that. But I think that's about all that's really to be mentioned about this episode. As for my thoughts, do I like it? I would say there's just some issues with it. I think it's fine, but there's some issues with it, though. There's really some issues that I have to say. I can't really truly 100% just like this episode. There's some good details, but the only thing that really just rubs me the wrong way is just Pop. I don't care about the whole thing of the battle keys just show up out of nowhere or the Zord showed up out of nowhere. It's just the fact that Pop's reputation has just been wrecked by this one episode alone. It's like, yeah, by this one episode alone, it kind of wrecked it. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I can't really say I like this episode. Now, if you would have done something more like I said in that review, then we're fine. But right now we have to question what Pop is able to do and his freaking workmanship. Because apparently he's able to clean windows. Awesome. Apparently he's able to clean places. Awesome. But as for AC, AC and technology, no, don't count on him. Don't do that. No. And it's like, no, I would love him to be a Renaissance man or a repairman, able to repair whatever he wish. And he's able to get it done. And there's no question about how good his workmanship is. Anyways, yeah, apparently I have to do something now, so yay me for someone just decides to just wreck the party like usual. Oh yeah, and stay tuned for the review that's gonna happen. I don't know anymore because it's kind of shaky of when I should put the review up. I thought Sunday was good and now it's bad, and well, stay tuned. Hopefully the review will be up before the next episode, of course. Something like that, I don't know.